Okay, so this is my summary page of my assessment plan. I'm doing third grade social studies, focusing on maps. And for this, we're going to learn how to use maps and how to read maps and interpret them. I plan on having students look at both paper and online versions of maps to kind of like compare and contrast the differences between them. At the end of the lesson, students are going to be making their own maps, and then being able to like let them look through all kinds of different maps of what we can do with maps and identifying the different aspects of maps and just kind of seeing how maps have changed throughout the years. So I have two objectives. I have one content standard and one ISTE standard. My content standard is the 3.GI.0.1, which is using cardinal directions to describe relative locations. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. And then the ABC objective is upon completion of this learning experience, the student will be able to use cardinal directions to describe the relative locations of significant places when given a location and another place, getting at least 8 out of 10 correct. So if they can do 8 out of 10, that's going to show me that they know my main points. My ISTE standard is students create original works or responsibility to repurpose and remix digital resources into a new creation. So that's going to be where they will make their own map. And this says that upon completion, students will be able to make a new creation when given the technology and knowledge of that technology and getting 80% of the required components of a map into the design. Our next point will be my formative assessment, which will focus on one of my two standards, which I'm focusing more on the content standard in this, which will kind of let me know whether or not students know about the map and what's included in the map before we move on into my summative assessment. So that is the standard that we're going to be focusing on with my formative. And I plan on using Kahoot for this and making a little Kahoot game, letting kids go through that, and that's going to let me see who knows the standard, who doesn't, and whether or not we need to go back and reteach before moving on with the lesson. The summative assessment is going to be where kids are going to make their own maps. It's going to focus mostly on the ISTE standard, but they're going to have mastered the content standard before this. So this is the standard. And then I plan on using this this website called MapHub, where you can actually have students make their own map of any location. So that's how they're going to make that map. And then accommodations and modifications, I think these are really important, especially when you have students with special needs in your classroom. So since I will be using a Kahoot, one of my accommodations will be focus on my formative assessment, where I will read the questions and the answers to students, especially for those who might have a hard time reading or just might have difficulty seeing the board. It's really going to be an accommodation that will help all my students in my classroom, but also if students need extra time, not limiting them to so many seconds to get the question. So, and then a modification would be giving students extra time to complete that formative assessment if needed, and if they're not successful with the online tool for any reason, giving them the option to complete it on a paper version, which it's not ideal considering we do want to include technology into this lesson, but understanding that not all our students are going to be successful with the technology, so having an extra option for them. So that is my assessment plan at this point in time. Yeah.